Right, welcome, Scented Bliss family. It is time for our monthly gathering, our monthly meeting. For those of you who are newer, this is something you'll want to definitely mark on your calendars. The 5th of every month is our Scented Bliss family monthly gathering, monthly meeting. So we like to change up the training topics each month to something that is relevant to our businesses, that keeps us all growing and working and learning all the great things. We definitely do our best to remember to record, which is what we're doing tonight. So you guys can always catch these in the Bliss group or, of course, on the YouTube Scented Bliss channel. If you are not subscribed there, that is going to be a great resource for you. So we try and get as much content out there as possible. It is June. We are halfway through the year, which I don't know about you guys, but I find that quite insane. Um, it's really crazy that we're already there, but here we are. We're getting ready to come into the summer months, and this is a wonderful time to talk about our topic tonight, which is PRV. So we're going to have some panel speakers tonight. We're going to be hearing from, well, I think it's just George tonight, but you guys might know them best as Mawpaw Scots. So George and Linda. Then we're going to also hear from Nicole Esser, and I'll kind of round it out at the end. And then also we'll give Tracy, by that time, if she's home, if she has anything to add in and share with us her amazing PRV tips. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it on over to George, and I'm going to let him take the wheel here.
Well, hello, everybody. It's great to be here. It's great to be back online with all of you. Linda and I have kind of been absent from some of our different meetings, online meetings. But tonight you have me, and we are here to talk about PRV. Angela, who's our director, asked me if I'd be willing to sit in on the panel and talk about kind of what we're doing. We have some fairly good PRV numbers. We have a very small team, so a lot of our overall PRV does come from our activity. And one of the things I talked to Angela about was, what kind of information should I be passing on? And it really comes down to being consistent. We hear that word a lot. We hear about how if you're consistent, results will happen. We joined in May of 2021. Shortly after that time, we went on vacation. I had some health issues. Linda had some surgery issues. So it's just been one thing after another. And I retired from Walmart in 2021. So it was really, where did we want to go with it? We really didn't know where we wanted to go with the business. We mainly got into it, like many of you, just to save on the money that you were spending on the things that you like. And it's changed, it's evolved. We have been up to 7 frontline members. We are back down to 5. Not everybody's active, as we know active to be. We do what we can to make sure that our team is informed of the different types of information, getting them, sample posts. We see that here in Bliss Family. I do sample posts out to them so that they can see kind of what we're doing. But being consistent is really the number one thing, and consistent with newsletters. We started sending newsletters out to customers and friends who weren't even, or I should say family and friends who really weren't even our customers to begin with, but a lot of them have turned into our customers. And every month we send out the newsletter. Every month we send out different inserts with our newsletter. Obviously they're going to get a wax sample, but through all of the different trainings, through all of the different things that we have seen, from various people here, even the ones on screen. It's taking their ideas and turning them into something that we're doing. Postcards to go out in our mailers that talk about Scentsy Club, talk about, are you a Facebook user? If so, here's a link, here's a QR code, join our Facebook group, our VIP group. And it's just constantly sending out information like that. Our two new team members, our newest team member is from a gun show that we did early part of the year. Through our conversation of her looking to see what we had and then her making a purchase, she was interested in, well, I'd like to make some money. I'd like to earn some money. So we took that information, we did our follow-up, we put her on our mailing list, and we didn't hear back from her right away. But just the fact that we were sending our newsletters, the fact that we added her to our project broadcast list, so she was getting, excuse me, our project broadcast message every week. One of our posts about a month ago, said we had 2 opportunities, and she quickly responded to the project broadcast saying, hey, I still want to earn some money. So that got our dialogue going again. And it's not because she just got something from us. It's because she saw what we were doing. She saw that we were not going to give up on her. She saw that we were going to still mail stuff to her. Even though she's moved, it was getting forwarded to her address. Our project broadcast was still going to her phone. She was getting our information. So she knew that we were serious about it, that we were not going to give up on her, even though we hadn't heard from her for like 5 months. It's really staying in contact with those that might be interested, whether they're a customer or not. It's doing everything you can. When we look at what others are doing, we're taking ideas from all of you, and all of you are taking ideas from other people. It's always fun for me to put a post out there and then see maybe an image that I've used in somebody else's post. Those are all fun for me because I see that my content can be used by other people. And that's really what this is about. We're all learning the same things. We hear things different. We understand things different, but we're all getting the same information. You think about, we've got the broadcasts on Sunday, the Zoom meetings on Sunday. We've got this Zoom meeting. We've got the trainings on Tuesday. And even if you're not able to dedicate your eyeballs to your screen for that entire training, keep an ear open. Listen to what they're talking about. When Jacqui was on, man, my eyes were glued because I knew I was going to get great content. But you don't have to be, 100% into the training that you're watching on Tuesday. You can have an earshot, listen to what they're saying, jot down notes. Afterwards, I always make a list of things that I heard that I want to find out more about. So then you do your research. You go on that hunt looking for who is this person? What did they talk about? Especially, it's been several months, but talking about gift baskets. And the presenter talked about the different gift baskets that she was putting together. And she even gave information on the bags, each bag, the dimensions, the item number, the company where she was getting them from. So then when it came time for us to think about doing gift baskets, we knew where we could get the bags. So it's just keeping track of all that information and then passing that information down to your team. We get information passed down to us from Angela. We get information passed down to us from Kim, who's our sponsor. And that information comes to not only us, but to also our team So we know that they're getting that kind of information as well. We'll get questions directly from our team about various things that they see and hear, and we'll need some help on that. So, we do what we can to get them the information and make sure that they're informed. So it's not only being consistent with your customers for your prospects, but also for your current team members. What else, Jacqui?
No, I think all of those are great points. I love it. They're great reminders and just a way, like you said, consistent. Consistency is key. I
How
absolutely
am I
love
supposed to compete with that?
it. Well, now is your chance, my dear.
That thing, Nicole, we see what you're doing, and we may be doing similar things, but you have a different twist on things. We take your ideas.
Hey, we all share.
Exactly.
So a lot of my team is my inspiration because I've definitely gained a really good team. I have an amazing director that's pretty much has took over me and taken very, very, very good care of me and helping me out when I have my down low moments where I'm like, why, what am I doing? Why I'm so mad at myself? But she's definitely my ear and helps push me big time. And my inspiration. And of course, Jacqui's trainings, I watch those like crazy. And there's what's helped me a lot besides obviously those two ladies is I watch the trainings and different ways to do things in that I think it's like Keep It Scentsy Simple group on Facebook. They usually do like a month-long 1 or 2 trainings a day to where they'll talk about how their businesses ran and what they found is simple but easy enough for anybody on a budget to be able to try new things and help their business. What has helped me a lot is I have wanted a great team, but I'm not afraid to pass out samples to random strangers. It's actually kind of gotten me out of my comfort zone a little bit. In the very beginning, I was really scared, but knowing what it could do for my business, and what my end goal is in a couple of years, it's definitely worth it to get out of your comfort zone and push. And so like I have a local gym in Columbia, and the family that owns that gym has actually done a lot for my disabled son. And so we knew them beforehand. And so they let me put a couple warmers and baskets of samples throughout their gym. And it has definitely helped grow my business with, random people that come in there to do their workouts. They'll go into the bathrooms and it's like, whoa, definitely a lot better smelling than sweat and all that. And so that's helped a lot. Let's see here. Of course, everything in my life is branded. That was always my big thing is I want people to know who I am. So when I walk into a place, they'll be like, oh, that's the girl that smells good all the time. Or, I know you have good stuff. Let me get some of that or samples. And so I want to be known that person. I don't care if it's, some people get annoyed, but it's one of those things where my goal in a couple of years is to not have to have a part-time job and spend more time with my children and be able to help, get fragrance into everybody's home. And I've had a customer that is very particular about her darn Walmart warmer, but she loves our wax. And so the other day I had to reach out and I was like, what do you tell these people? And the reply I got back was just be straight with them. If they don't like it, oh well, but they're going to learn that there's a reason why we love Scentsy and why there's Scentsy around versus other brands. And so I pretty much told her, sugarcoated it, but not sugarcoated it. And she understands, which helps. Because I'm not that, I don't know, I've never gotten rude with anybody because I'm always afraid, oh, I'm going to lose that sale, you know, and I've gotten to the point where, oh, well, but at least I saved their home. But so, I mean, it's more of the, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to be, you can be scared, but nobody, even our directors, I mean, Tracy DeMario, for one, I envy her because she is up there and she is looking at all of us like I was there at one point, and she's a great leader. And she always says consistency, and get out of your comfort zone. You're not going to grow unless you get out of your comfort zone. So just make sure, you know, believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to grow. You got, if you want it, push yourself. And, you know, before I had a good team, it was just me, but I was still averaging a decent, I was happy where I was, but I wanted to help others and to get them where I am and where I'm happy. And I have that now. And you just, I mean, pretty much just believe in yourself and get out of your comfort zone and share real life photos, share yourself, you know, using the products. And it's benefited my business with me sharing real life stuff versus images. Images can be your best friend, but they can also be your worst enemy, because not everybody wants to see images. They want to see you actually using the product and, you know, providing products and everything else. So George kind of took everything, and I don't know what else to say.
Well, before I dive in, I'm going to ask each of you a question. So I'm going to start with George. So I'll give
Okay.
Nicole a second to think of hers. So George, my question to you is, how do you plan, if you do, your PRV for a month? Like, do you have a set way that you set a goal, or do you reach out? What is it that you do to kind of get ready for a new month?
I would say initially we really didn't have a plan. As we started getting Scentsy Club customers, that really helps you plan. So end of the month, as fun as it is to see the broadcast and see what's coming up for the next month, for me, it's kind of nerve-wracking because where are we at with our numbers? What else can I possibly pull in that night to give us a higher number? You know, not only for us, but for our upline, because I know that our number is going to affect them, and their number is going to affect the next person and the next person. So we're looking at, you know, before the end of the month, I'm looking at whose club orders are going to process when the following month. You know, we all want to have that 200 PRV every month. We need to have, at our level, we need to have 500 PRV for our level. So I'm looking at how much PRV am I going to get from my club customers? When is it going to hit? Where is it going to hit? They have the opportunity now to make changes right before. So it's keeping in contact with them. Hey, you know, your club order's coming up. You know, are you going to be making any changes? Hey, this fragrance that you really like is going to go away. Do you want to get it added to your club? So it's really helping them maintain those numbers. And when you think about the club customers, we really don't do anything to get that PRV. They're doing it for us. So naturally we want to thank them for it. But it's knowing what PRV is coming in, looking at, and then the last day of the month when we hear what's coming out. You know, we heard this little discussion the other day with Dan and Lacey about Lilo and Stitch. Well, they never said the collection, but we all read it at 2 a.m. We're seeing Lilo and Stitch is coming out. Okay, well, what about it? Because I have customers that are Lilo and Stitch fans, and I want to be able to say to them, hey, on the 26th, this is going to happen. somebody, we have customers that like I call it the peacock warmer. So the warmer, that we have now, the warmer of the month, people are going to like that because they like the other warmer. So it's just keeping them informed, hoping that they order, but it all comes back to where are you at? What are you going to be able to contribute to your own PRV? We go through every month, we go through a couple times of the month. Is there anything we need for our laundry? Is there anything that we need for another part of our home? What are we running low on that we can order? And of course, that's going to generate PRV for us. And, it's just this whole thing with so I kind of feel like in a way, I'm kind of at a disadvantage because I'm very active in this business. I am very active in what we do. I'm doing the posts, I'm doing the newsletters. Linda is kind of the back office person. She helps me get it all put together and into the envelope so that we can get it into the mail. When we go to events, she's right there. She's in the front line. She does great with the customers. She helps, we together, we get things set up. We together get things tore down. But a customer walks anywhere near us, she's on. She wants to know, are you looking for anything specific? Oh no, your booth smells great. Oh, what kind of fragrances I don't have to really get involved with that aspect of it. I'm there to help and there to get involved with the customers. But it's like once she makes that sale, here, George, check them out. Get their stuff in a bag. And that's kind of how we work together. And it's working. But I'm kind of at a disadvantage because even though it's not a woman's business, it's a woman's business. I see Ray, I see Larkin, I see Jason, I see others. And if they can do it, why can't I? I'm just the paw behind the maw. So
I love that. I'm the paw behind the maw. Okay. I think that's going to be a new slogan. I love that. And I love how you said that you start with the club first. I think that's a great way to really kind of set your month up. I do the same thing. So those of you who have club subscribers, that's a really great way to kind of start your month, see what's coming, because you can always look to see, you can click on their orders, what they're getting. You can see when it's going to process, all of those things. So that's a great reminder. And if you don't yet have any club members, well, you still have plenty of time to get some at any time. So Ms. Nicole, my question for you is, for someone just starting out in Scentsy or just maybe trying to get going or restarting their business, what would be the best advice you would give them for getting their PRV going?
Share. You opening your new kit, if you get a kit. I guess with newbies, you get kits. But be excited. I mean, you wanted to join Scentsy for a reason. Show that excitement to the public. Show them why you wanted to join. Share your experiences as you are using it. Always negativity, you got to get the negativity out of there. Try to always stay positive, especially on social media. You will need that the positive, because a lot of people, it's social media, you're judged. No matter what you do in life, you're judged. So you always want to be positive on social media. And then, I mean, a lot of it is just watching trainings, learning from your leaders, your team members, because no matter where you start, you have somebody. If it's not, and obviously if for some reason you're not in our Bliss group, then we're all here. I've had my times where when I first started, I didn't really have a sponsor. And so I pretty much followed everything in the Bliss group and always, did the trainings and tried to stay with everybody on learning different things. And I had a couple, I think the very first person I bought a warmer from was actually Ma Paul Scott. And we both joined literally around the same time frame. But I believe I had gotten my very first warmer from them. And so it was one of those things where, we have a family out there, you just got to reach out. And don't be scared. You can be scared starting your business, but we're all family. You get random morning text from other Scentsy brothers, and they're amazing. Our good morning sunshines. And you always have somebody to lean on. And so you don't ever want to be scared. You always, it's hard to explain. My girls, they're not afraid to message me. They all know you can message me day and night, because I've been there. I was that nervous one that didn't know who to reach out to, and I messaged people at wrong times, and I hear it, but it's like, if you want to learn and you want to grow, you can't be afraid to reach out.
Oh, the words of wisdom. I love that. I will say that's great advice, because as a leader of my group obviously has grown over the years. I mean, I've been doing this for 13, 14 years now. But I will tell you, as my group has grown, even though I feel like I try and reach out to every single person, I know I'm probably missing people. And I never know if I'm missing somebody unless they're reaching out when they have something. So that's a great reminder. Wonderful. All right. I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things, which is bring back my bar, because we're in the month for it. It's June. This is one, Scentsy does this for us 2 times a year. It's usually in the J months. It was a little off for a couple of years. I think with the vid, we got a little misdirected, but we're back, I think, on schedule for every June and January, having Bring Back My Bar. And I know that everybody's probably heard this, but I'm going to just squash the rumor of the J months. Everybody says a J month is usually a slower month. I have actually found that J months are pretty good overall over the years. So if you hear that myth, it is a myth. It's a rumor, because that's one of the reasons that Scentsy gives us Bring Back My Bar 2 times a year, right? We have the opportunity to, if we're not, hopefully we are following up with our customers, but even if we're not, it's kind of Scentsy pushing us and getting us to have those conversations, because even if or you're new or your customers are new to you, I guarantee you, if they've ever been around fragrance, if they've ever heard of Scentsy, maybe even years ago, I guarantee you there's probably a scent they're like, I remember that one. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that scent. This round is, I like to say it's a very customer friendly round, even though a couple in there are not necessarily my personal favorites. I know that there is a nose for every single one of those 20 scents that we have. And so one thing that I have learned over the years is, I thought, well, when I smell something, when I sniff a bar, when I get a scent, whatever, and I'm like, oh, this is awful. Like, who's going to like this? And I would never talk about the scent. And I realized it was during a Bring Back My Bar very early on, I had done some samples and sent them out. And I remember there was stinky ones in there. And I was like, oh, this is going to be awful. They're going to complain about these. I got orders for them. And I was like, there really are people who like these. Okay, all right. And so I just started saying, okay, well, obviously this is how it's going to go. And I will tell you, I'm surprised every time there's a Bring Back My Bar. There are certain ones in there, like I said, that I don't personally love, but my customers are already buying them by the 3 and 6 pack. So everybody loves a good scent. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us as consultants to do that follow-up, to reach out. We kind of talked about this on happy hour last night, but I know not everybody was with us last night. Amber reminded us of a really great way. If you have a customer who is excited or loves a certain particular fragrance note, maybe it's cinnamon, maybe it's sandalwood, maybe it's freesia, you know, something like that, you can go to your personal website. So you go to your own PWS and you can just go to the search bar and type that fragrance in. So maybe it's cedar, maybe it's mint, something like that. And when you type that in, it's going to pull up every fragrance that is currently available that has that in the scent. And I will tell you that sometimes when I do this, like I've got big lavender fans in my customer base. And every time we have a new catalog change, that's usually the first way that I do it, is I go to see where are those scents, right? And I'm always surprised, like, oh, I had no idea lavender was in that one. Where did that come? Like, I don't smell lavender, but it's there. It's in the scent description. So if you have customers who like a particular scent or a fragrance note, that's a really great way to find out what we have that has that in it. I like to also talk to my customers, specifically when it comes to Bring Back My Bar this month, but I try and do it all the way around when I'm doing follow-ups, is, and I'm the same way, I'm not gonna lie, I do shop. There is a big brand store that sells a lot of fragrance things, and I do like that store. Still love the Scentsy, don't forget, but I do like other fragrances outside of Scentsy. And when I find a fragrance that I like, I look to see what's the closest thing we have to that fragrance. There was an example of this that I absolutely love, is a scent that we had called Lucky in Love. And there is a big brand store that has a scent. It's called Love Spell. And I was so in love with that. And I realized that Lucky in Love is the closest dupe to that scent that you will ever find. And so I was like, oh my goodness. I instantly started buying everything we had that was in Lucky in Love at the time. Not gonna lie, in my super secret Scentsy stash, I do have some body cream in Lucky in Love that I'm like hoarding away, scared to open it because I don't know when it's ever gonna come back. But it's a really great way that if you do have customers who like other fragrances, maybe they shop at those other stores, or they say, even if it's the Wally World, like Nicole was talking about, right? They went to their local Wally World and they were like, oh, I love this scent. Okay, well, let's figure out what scents are in that, what fragrances are in that scent. And I'm going to match you up with some really good fragrance because I am your fragrance specialist. I'm your consultant, right? Like I'm the one who knows. Now, here's the secret, okay? I am not like a huge person who knows all the things like right off the top of my head. I go to my personal website, my PWS, all the time, specifically when I'm looking for those fragrance notes, because I don't keep that stuff memorized. I can't. There's no way I could keep all that stuff memorized. So my customers may not realize that I'm actually going to my own website. I'm figuring it out as they're texting me before I text them back. And they think that I just know it all, right? We don't have to know it all. What we need to know is where our resources are, how we can find those scents, how we can match them with the ones that they love the most. It was really funny too. I had taken in a bag party last week to my work. And of course, you guys all know what happens when you take testers in somewhere to a party or to wherever. People start smelling them. It's just an automatic thing. I didn't have to tell them to start smelling testers. They literally just dug into the bag, okay? I had one of the nurses, as I was coming back to my desk, she was like, Jacqui, what is that scent? That's sleepy pajamas. Right off the top of my head, I was like, you mean jammy time? She was like, yes, that's it. And I was like, okay, is it weirder that I recognize that you called it sleepy pajamas and I knew what you were talking about? Those are the scents or the fragrance notes, kinds of things you want to listen to with your customers, right? So I know that nurse, and there's many others that I work with, they love those lavender scents, right? That jammy time scent. So what am I doing? You can guarantee today I took the whole bar of fuzzy blanket into work today. And do you know that I got 2 orders for 3 packs of bars just by taking that bar in today for fuzzy blanket? Because they were like, oh, I love that. So good. It reminds me of jammy time. Sold, right? Because they already like the other scent. So Bring Back My Bar is a wonderful opportunity to not only get to know your customers, build those relationships, get more of that fragrance thinking mind going. But like George touched on, we need to be reminding them about Scentsy Club every single time. I told my group this last week. I did a training for Bring Back My Bar with my group, and I told them, I don't want you guys to talk or speak about Bring Back My Bar or even say the word BBMB without saying Scentsy Club in the same sentence. Those should go together every single time you are having a conversation. Because specifically for this month, right, these scents are going to leave us at the end of this month. Once June 30th comes around and July 1st hits the door, these scents are gone unless they're in a Scentsy Club. So for those customers who, now I've got some that love fuzzy blanket, right? You can guarantee you that I already had the conversation with them about starting a Scentsy Club. And it just kind of rolls into the perks that go along with Scentsy Club. If you know your Scentsy Club, then you know that they have exclusive opportunities with Scentsy Club, right? As soon as they hit that $30 mark, they're instantly saving 10%. They can see it on the screen. It comes big, bold, and red, and it says you've now saved X amount of dollars. It'll also, in big, bold, red letters, say you are X number of dollars away from a half price item. Oh my goodness, right? The website, the Scentsy Club itself is already prompting them to get to that next level. Because for one, it's going to help them save the most money, get the best discount. Another exclusive perk, which you may or may not remember or think about, is that the shipping is discounted with Scentsy Club. It's a flat rate of shipping, no matter how much they're ordering, no matter the dollar amount, it is a flat rate of shipping. So if you know your customers and they're like, oh, I hate it when that shipping, oh, it gets me every time. Let me know if you're putting in a bulk order or whatever, right? That's your opportunity to say, well, if you really want to save on shipping, set up a Scentsy Club, whether it's every month, every other month, every 3 months. They have access to exclusive bricks. They can't get a brick of Jammy Time right now, but they can if they are a Scentsy Club member. So those customers who love Jammy Time, right? I'm telling them that if they want to get a lot of it, that's the way to do it. A brick is the way to go if you love fragrance. So those are just some of the perks, not to mention the fact that they get those rewards points for the clubs that are processing. They also have an affiliate link, right? So they get a Scentsy Club link that if they share that with their friends, then they start earning points based off of those subscriptions. So just like our affiliate influencers on Instagram and TikTok and all the other places, right? Now our customers get to do that. That's already built into Scentsy Club. Like George said, it's nothing that we have to really like we have to work for it, right? We need to talk about it. We need to have the conversations. We want to educate our customers. But once you've done that and they start experiencing the perks and the benefits and the discounts and all the things, it's like a no-brainer, and you don't have to have that conversation anymore, right? They're just going to be more excited about, oh my gosh, I have points, I have rewards that I have to use. I got an email, I want to say it was last week or the week before, that was letting me know that some of my club subscribers, their rewards points were expiring soon. And I was like, oh, what a fantastic opportunity for me to follow up with these people. So that was the very first thing I did. I started texting these people. Oh my gosh, you have rewards points. They're going to expire. So those are the great ways to have those conversations. Bring Back My Bar. The way that even my labels, I'll show you one of my labels on my samples, but I showed these in my thing. It just says, it's the name of the scent, but what does it say? Always get my bar with Scentsy Club. everything that goes out the door either gets a flyer, gets a sticker, or when I am following up and doing that, thank you so much for your order. And then when I do that next follow-up of, how did you like it? And I always usually ask, one of my key things to ask during that second follow-up is, what's your favorite scent that you got? Which one is your favorite? They're excited to tell me which one their favorite is. And then that's when I say, okay, well, I want to make sure you continue to get that one, especially if it's a seasonal scent, right? Like a good spring scent. I'm already having those conversations with, you want to make sure that you lock that into Scentsy Club. When I'm sending out the scent of the month every month, those samples, whether it's the rub and sniff, whether it's a wax sample, however it is that you're getting it out, you need to follow up with those samples. It's great to get those samples out, but you have to take that double step to follow up. How did you like it? What did you like about it? Do you love it? Do you want to grab a bar of it? All the things, right? And that again is another opportunity. Add it to a Scentsy Club. And that's going to generate more PRV for you that is reoccurring every month, every other month, every 3 months. That again, you don't have to really necessarily think about. But like George said, when you're starting to plan your month, you can now look ahead and you'll start to see the more and more that you talk about it, the more and more interest you're going to get. If you get questions from customers and you don't know how to answer them, what did Nicole remind us of earlier, right? Reach out. Host in the Scented Bliss group. Hey guys, somebody asked me this question and I don't know how to answer. Okay, I guarantee you that you're going to get a whole bunch of responses of people telling you how to respond, okay? There is nothing that you cannot find out. So even if you don't maybe necessarily have a good relationship with your sponsor, you've got a wonderful family group right here in Scented Bliss, okay? You are never alone in this business. Like Nicole said, this community is unlike any other. So you always have the opportunity to find out the answers that you're looking for. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to post in the group. Even I, for years, when I was a newer consultant, I was like, oh, they're going to think I'm a complete idiot if I post this. I can't ask this question. Yes, I guarantee you, if you have the question, somebody else is also having the same question, or they've gone through it before. So don't think that you're the only one. So that's what I've got for Bring Back My Bar. I'm going to turn the rest of the time over to Tracy and see what she has for us for this lovely meeting.
Okay, hello everyone. Sorry, I am in preparation mode. We're leaving tomorrow for 26 days, which is I have a lot of anxiety about and lots of fun things to do. So I've actually been listening to everything. I've just been at the same time doing all kinds of multitasking. So apologize for that, not being as attentive. Thank you, Jacqui, for taking the lead on this, by the way. I truly appreciate it. Loved hearing from, of course, Jacqui, as always, and Nicole and George, or the paw behind the maw. I just love that new slogan. You need to get shirts made. I think that's like perfect. That's going to be
well, you always hear, there's always, I don't know, a man behind a good woman or something like that.
I love it. I love it. And what's interesting, I will say a couple things, but like when you mentioned so there's definitely, this is a predominantly women business, obviously. At the same time, I can't tell you how many times when Joe is at the booth with me, when I've been like, am I just invisible? Because women will like go to him first, like to ask him, what type of scents should I buy my husband, or I'm buying a gift. And I'm like, well, who am I? Like, it's just so bizarre to me. So sometimes I do think actually women, I don't know if they think he just knows more, if it's his business, I don't know, but I deal with that a lot. But so I thought that was just kind of funny when you said that. But so anyways, I loved all of the conversation, lots of great sharing. I hope you guys took some notes and plan to implement some things. And I loved Jacqui's last question. I was just going to kind of allude to that as well. So for example, when Bring Back My Bar was announced, I did not solicit any customers yet. However, the moment they launched that, I had that saved as one of my favorite images in my phone. So when I was out and about, for example, or doing events or having conversations, and someone would say, oh my gosh, if they ever would bring back ghostly greetings. And I got to tell you, no one's ever said that to me, but I thought that was kind of funny. if anybody were to say something like that, I could say right then, oh my gosh, girl, it's actually coming back. Let me get your contact information. And as soon as it's available for order, I will be in touch with you. So like I went ahead and just subconsciously would use that information as I was meeting new people to become their go-to favorite person. So the other thing as well, I know Jason loves that scent. He's the only person on the planet. I think he just voted like, I don't know. He probably bought a bot or something to make sure that it got voted back. I don't know. Had to be something. So, so that was something I did like started months ago, the minute that that was launched. Now, since that time, since I knew they were launching June 1st, she said, well, so how do you kind of plan your month? I started probably, I don't know, about the 20th of the month of May. I started going through anybody that had ever purchased any of those scents before. And I started reaching out to them just to let them know that this scent was coming back. So that way on June 1st, I already had order that I was able to start placing and get active and beyond on the 1st of the month. So that is just a way I use that Bring Back My Bar tool. Not too late. You can certainly still do that. And great tip that Amber had as far as similar fragrance notes as well. That's another great thing. So a lot of my customers that don't already have Scentsy Club, after they receive the shipment that they just purchased of the bringbacks that I ordered on the 1st, when I do my follow-up message, when I contact them to do my follow-up, that is another conversation I'm going to have is just want to make sure, in case we haven't talked about this before, Scentsy Club is the real deal. And I'll tell them how they can continue to get those fragrances for indefinitely and how to set up the Scentsy Club. So definitely want to make sure all of you guys are taking full advantage of that. Other things that I like to do. So for example, Stitch is going to be happening. We all know something is coming. So we've been told. And therefore, anybody that's ever ordered anything stitched from me, I am going to be reaching out now and letting them know that we have got another Stitch launch that's going to be happening and making sure that they're aware. I'm going to say, hey, I don't know what it is, but just so you know, I've got you on my 411. As soon as I find out, you're going to be one of the first. So again, just touching base with those people so they know that I've thought about them, that I'm working my business. That to me is really, really important to do. And the other thing I try to do as well is I try to focus primarily on my follow-up. Most of my team members and my PRV comes from my follow-up. I would bet probably 90% come from follow-up. And so I can't stress enough. I know we talk about it a lot, but I can't stress enough that it truly is, if you had to pick 3 tools that would be most important part of your business, follow-up needs to be one of the 3. If you could only manage 2 things, customer service, following up for sure needs to be the top 2. And I would say the third thing is showing up to things like this, to investing in the training, just being a part of Scentsy, not just sharing it or selling it, but being a part of Scentsy, because you're going to grow beyond in your business, personally, just in every which way by investing the time and showing up. We know for a fact when you show up, you go up. So I look forward to seeing many of you guys continue to show up and go up. So that I think is my wrap up. We've got just a couple of minutes because I know I've got another Zoom scheduled immediately after this as well. So I'm not gonna be able to stay on long, but are there any quick questions the last like 2 minutes of the call? Anyone?
I'll go ahead and end the recording here real quick, just so
Great,
we have any.
perfect.